What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/EntitledParents. This story's called, "My Mom Wouldn't Give Me My Diploma Because I Didn't Give Her a Rose." Hi guys, this was the first story I tried to post on Entitled Parents, but it was immediately removed because my account was less than 4 days old, and I promptly forgot all about it until now. This account is now 9 months old. So here it is. I had a weird upbringing in a cult that I have tried to explain a couple of times, but it's so complicated. I couldn't get it concise enough and I had to erase it. I think I'll just stick to this one story for now, and if you want to hear more about what my family believed, you can ask me any questions you have and I can answer them in the comments. Even so, this is gonna be a long, crazy story, so brace yourself. My mom was what's known as a covert narcissist. That's where they are super sweet and wonderful whenever someone else is around, but at home, their true colors rip through their mask and they demand that the world revolve around them. Part of what I believed required our family to have as many children as possible, and as the oldest daughter, it was my job to take care of all of them. I meal planned, cooked, cleaned, even homeschooled my youngest siblings, all while trying to get through my own school books myself. My mom wouldn't let me study unless all the other housework was done first, so consequently, I was behind a lot. I got good grades in everything, except math, and one of my tutors even told me I had talent for a particular career, but I told her our religion didn't believe in women working outside the home, but thanked her for the compliment. When it came time for me to graduate high school, our church organized a group of us homeschooled kids who were all graduating at the same time, and put together a ceremony like the ones regular schools have. I was very involved for the first few months. I illustrated a cookbook we were selling, and went to all the fundraisers, but after a while, I decided I didn't agree with a lot of what the group was doing, and asked my parents if I could pull out the project and just have a small ceremony at home, like we had always talked about. They both heard my reasons and agreed, saying they were proud of my maturity and willingness to stand alone for what is right. The day of graduation came, and we went to support our friends. During the ceremony, each student gave their mother a rose and a hug on stage, and it was very sweet. I had no reason to believe there was anything wrong until we got home. My mom immediately called me back into a room. My dad was standing there, but he wasn't really the leader in our house, so he didn't say anything the whole time. My mom told me that she was humiliated when she saw all the other mothers got roses and said I cheated her out of the honor and recognition she deserved for teaching me everything I know. Her exact words were, "A graduation ceremony is not about the students, it's about the teachers and how hard they work to get those students where they are today." I didn't dare contradict her, but in my head I was thinking, what are you talking about? You haven't been my teacher since I was 11. She would always just buy me books and that was it. I had to find time to read them, take tests, and grade myself all on my own. She would even make me take tests over and over until I got an A. With math, that was a lot of trying and failing. I didn't even know the real cutoff for failing a test was a D until I got married and moved out. At the time of this conversation, I still had a couple of chapters in my last math book I needed to finish, but a lot of my other homeschool friends said they had the same thing and it was normal. My mom finished by saying, "I just looked at your math book and you still have 2 chapters left to go, so you haven't even earned this yet. Since you denied me the honor I deserve tonight, I will be withholding your diploma also. You don't even need it since you won't be going to college. Just finish your book and you will just be done with school." I tried to remind her that she agreed to let me sit out of the graduation ceremony, but she said, "I know I did, but when I saw how all the other mothers were being honored like that, I realized that wasn't your decision to make and I felt robbed. It wasn't about you, it was about me as both your mother and your teacher." I asked her to at least not tell anyone that I didn't have a diploma, and she said what she always said when I asked that kind of thing. "If you don't want people to know what you did, don't do it." She dismissed me and I ran to my room and cried. I was embarrassed and worried about what my friends would think if they found out. But I couldn't stay in my room for very long because my mom soon noticed I was gone and called me back downstairs to make dinner. She never approved of anyone being a emotional. I went the next 12 years carefully guarding my secret that I didn't have a diploma, and even my husband didn't know until one day my dad called me. He and my mom had gotten a divorce when she left him and all my siblings for another man that year. After the drama settled, the whole family was a lot happier without my mom around. And my dad had been going through all the old files, getting everything in order for their new, free life, when he found something he thought I would like to have. It was my diploma in my high school transcript. He sent me a picture of both of them, and I just broke down crying right there on the phone. He apologized for not standing up for me back then, and I told him I understood and forgave him. My mom abused him too, and he was just trying to get through life like all of us. He couldn't accept that. He said, as my dad, it was his job to protect me, and he failed. We had a long talk about all the things my mom did to me, and I was surprised to hear that my dad was largely unaware of most of them. He got really angry on the phone and kept apologizing for not being aware and present in my life. He was in the military, so he was gone a lot. It was a wonderful talk, and we both cried a ton. He sent me the diploma and the transcript in the mail, and I cried again when I finally held them in my hands. I used them to get a job last year at a daycare, and it felt amazing. What? I'm not crying. You're crying, you freaking jerks. This story's called My Mom Doesn't Respect My Wishes When It Comes to My Surgery. So as a background, I am a 27-year-old female and I'm engaged to a 26-year-old female, so an obvious adult that can make my own choices, right? When I first found out that I had to get my gallbladder removed, I told my family the date just to let them know. When I told my mom, while picking her up from work, she turns around and tells her work that she needs that day off. Confused, I asked her, why are you calling off that day? And she gave me a look and said, you think I won't be there for my daughter on the day of her surgery? And when I gave a confused look and replied with, no, it's just gallbladder surgery, it's not that deep, she tells me to shut up and that she's going. After a few days of talking to my sister, among others, about how I didn't really want people besides my fiance there, I look up the distance between just going to the hospital and picking up my mom before going to the hospital. If my love and I just go, it takes 16 minutes to get there. If I pick up my mom, she doesn't drive. Before going, we are driving away from the hospital to get her, and it will take around 36 minutes to get there. So I get the courage to tell her that we can't pick her up, and she says that she doesn't like it, but okay. My sister also tries to explain that I don't really want a lot of people there and that I just really want my love with me. When it gets closer to the date, the nurses tell me that they are strict about who gets to be with me. Absolutely no sick people are non-blood relations or extended family. Basically, they only want close, healthy family. I also explained this to my mom, who has been sick the past few days off and on, and she agreed it's for my health. Day of the surgery, all goes great. My love is there with me and is taking great care of me. My family and friends are calling and checking on me. So that's it, right? Ha! My sister texted me a day or so before surgery and told me that our mother called her, and here's the conversation that she sent me. So, Mom called me yesterday when she got home. The very start of the conversation, she starts talking about calling up to the hospital to see where you were at. She was going to take the bus to the hospital. However, the nurse on the phone, she heard Mom coughing and said she wasn't allowed up there. And Mom told her that she was only coughing because of her allergies. The nurse told her it didn't matter and that she couldn't go up there, and if she did, she would be asked to leave. I mentioned to Mom how you said you didn't want anyone up there, but your love. Mom said she knows, but she's Mom and she wanted to be there, and it's hard for your baby to be going through something like surgery and not be there with them. She also said that she would have waited down the waiting room and not go up to where you were. I told her I fully understand what it feels like to be a mom. I kinda have 3 kids, you know? But you said you didn't want anyone else up there but your love. And so she should respect your wishes, and even if she waited in the waiting room and not go to where you were, that would still be considered not respecting your wishes. Later in the conversation, she backtracked and said she probably wouldn't have even went up there because she started thinking about it and stuff, and if she truly was going to go up there, then she would have just went without calling the hospital first. It was just really hard for her not being there, and she was really worried. She probably didn't want me telling you though, so don't say anything to her. That's a quote from my sister that she sent me. I only took out my fiance's name. Later on, my sister added that the other reason my mom wanted to come up there against my wishes was because when I was talking about it, I was terrified, which isn't true. I was a little nervous because it's surgery, but I was not freaking out. She just felt like her own feelings were more important, and that since she was my mother, she was entitled to go up there despite my wishes and the health risk, because she was my mom. And my sister was my freaking hero for pushing my side and trying to get mom to understand that it isn't right. I think she would have went without telling my sister if the nurse didn't tell her she couldn't. So thank you, nurses, you saved my ass. This isn't uncommon for my mom to do, and I'm glad that the nurses and my sister had my back, because she clearly wasn't thinking about my health or wishes at all. It's only been 3 days since surgery, so a lot has happened in a short time. Edit. I was trying not to make this a book, but okay. To answer the people in the comments, I don't have 3 kids. The I kinda have 3 kids was inside a quote of what my sister sent me. She has 3 kids. I thought some were saying that I said I had kids in the comments because I wrote that my mom had 3 kids, but now I see a majority of people are taking it from the story. I copied and pasted what my sister sent me. That was her saying she has 3 kids, so she knows how it feels to want to be there. I wanted to clear this up 100%. My parents divorced when I was 3. My dad has raised me, and my mom was only in the picture because my dad made it easy to be. He paid her to watch us, he would let her live with us if she needed, he never asked for money, and oftentimes she would, which she would give her money whenever she asked. My mother has done so many things that to me, this isn't just being a good mom. She will do what she wants if she feels she's in the right, and she always feels like she is right. She has threatened my sister with taking her kids, yelled at me and got angry for not doing crap that would suit her. Like she gets annoyed and offended because me and my fiance won't sell our house and get rid of our dogs to move in with her. We have to be a completely different person around her family. Oh, and when my brother's kid was having surgery, she told him to let her father, which is not in our lives at all and doesn't care about us, come because he's going to bring money. It's a long-ass story to try to explain why my mom is toxic. I did later on tell her myself before surgery that I would rather just have my fiance. Sorry you think the my love is cringy. I don't. If she had have came, it would have been so damn stressful for me because she is loud and fake in her "I care for you" and wouldn't have let my fiance or the doctors care for me properly. Without telling you my whole life, I can't show you why this isn't just a caring mom, so I'm sorry if you don't agree. I don't hate my mom, I just know how she is and that her intentions are not purely out of love. She likes to play these roles where she will act loving or caring for the people around us, or so she can brag that she's a good mother, and that when people believe her and us kids freak out on her. She is the victim and we are the ungrateful kids, or she will use it against us later. I was out there out of the kindness of my heart and you can't even come over to take my trash and clean my kitchen. Again, even though she is 100% capable of doing it. Okay, you know what? I'm glad that they cleared this up because I was like, what an ungrateful child. She's just loving you. But I know exactly what she's talking about. I know people like that, or one person specifically that is just like that. Okay, not just like that, but the whole doing things out of, for the sake of appearances. And that behavior has always really grossed me out when I realized that none of it's genuine. Okay, sympathies given. This story is called Entitled Christian Mom Being Sexist. I mostly lurk on this subreddit, but I have decided to tell my story. Bear with me because this is hectic. Here's the cast. Me, Potato. My mom, Entitled Mother. So for background, my mom worked at an office. Sometimes when she worked later, I would come visit her to keep her company. This was one of those nights, and usually I am there to make small talk and to make it so she doesn't feel as lonely. Cue Entitled Mother. She's visibly pregnant and has a plastic Walmart bag in hand. Mind you, I've heard of this woman before, but never met her. She walks right past me and greets my mom, making small talk, checking up on how the pregnancy is doing. I'm sitting in my chair, eavesdropping as I play Pokemon Diamond. Finally, this woman turns around and approaches me. The conversation went down as followed. Hello, Potato, how are you? I'm, fine, I guess. She realizes I'm playing Pokemon and snatches it out of my hands. Why in the world are you playing a boys' game? Me being socially awkward and slightly genderqueer at the time? Yes. Sorry. Entitled mother turns to my mom. Why isn't your daughter playing something more appropriate? I'm sorry, what is she playing? Entitled mother shows Pokemon. This isn't a game for girls, don't you know that? Excuse me? There's nothing wrong with her playing this. But I won't take it away from my boys this time. If I see Potato with it again, though, I might. That's illegal. Not in the name of the Lord. Here, take this. Maybe you'll figure it out. She hands me the Walmart bag. Thanks? No problem. I'll include you in prayer tonight. And she leaves. So the bag included a few of those Christian movies you can get really cheap, a mini Bible, and one of those coloring books with Bible scenes. I'm agnostic, so I don't know what to do with it. Pretty sure it's still sitting in my closet. After that experience, though, I didn't go back to work with my mom. The lady apparently kept coming in more often, saying how it's better a girl isn't in a workplace. My mom quit and started working elsewhere, so this lady wouldn't find us again. Things have been fine, though, so I'm not worried. Sorry there wasn't any big revenge story behind it. I don't even know what I do. Okay, this writer was pretty funny. Being slightly... That was funny, guys. Good stuff. This is good stuff. This is why I like this. Sometimes there's some really funny stories. And I know this wasn't, like, outrageously funny, but... me being socially awkward and slightly genderqueer at the time. Yes! That was good. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.